So,
So my apologies for not sending the email prior to. I knew Kenna didn't really need it. However, the police department needed a reminder. So we're adding an item for you. Is that correct?
yes.
That was a seized vehicle.
Correct. Yep. It's forfeiture.
Color is it?
It's black and it's got like a dark blue outline. It's kind of like a trim. I think it's a California edition. Never heard of it, but pretty awesome car.
Probably pretty sweet, not real practical, but.
Yeah, it's a convertible.
Oh.
It's 25. It's got like 8,000 miles on it.
Gosh.
Paid off.
Oh, we got a full house tonight.
Yeah, we do.
Computer says 5:27. Phone says 5:27. The clock on the wall says 3 o'clock. You know that song?
Official time is
You know-
five
you know that
27.
song?
Days and days.
One burger, one scotch, and one beer.
Is that what's for dinner?
The clock on the wall says 3 o'clock. Last call. Doors through good in the destroyers. The man's 70 years old and he can still bring it. Went to see him last year down in Cincinnati.
Wow,
Mm,
he's had some fun in his day.
He sure has.
I get some rain around soon.
Be back from 4-H camp meeting. Maybe I won't rush to get there. Monsoon.
Where's that at?
Down at Clifton,
Oh, okay.
it's very primitive.
Camp London.
Yes.
Been there
Although the toilet's flush now, they're not a porta john style.
for the boys.
It's always a
That
good
sounds
thing
nice.
when they flush.
Hey, it didn't always.
Oh, when I was a kid, the shower, if you looked up, there was sky and trees. I mean, there was no cover over the shower house.
That's been there so long. My mom went to camp. They had tents.
Oh,
Out. They were cement.
yeah.
It's been there for.
We've had a lot of campers this year and they're having a really good time. Learning silly songs. We did archery this morning.
Are you helping with it? Are you
I don't have any official duty. I'm just a background checked extra adult.
Okay.
Actually, Erin Cremines conned me into being there with her. She didn't want to stay by herself. We're running the canteen.
Okay.
All right, I have 5:30. Do you have 5:30? We expecting anyone else?
Actually,
All right,
he was on the phone when I walked out of the office, so I don't know.
I'm sure he'll be here shortly. All right, we will call the Personnel Budget and Finance Committee meeting to order at 5:30 PM. We have a full room of people, which is a little surprising, but good to see everybody. Have you had a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes,
I have too. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
I'll move to accept.
I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. Nobody's opposed. There we go. Moving on to the auditors update.
May books are closed. For the month of May, we received $3,165,283.34. We spent $2,078,476.29. For the year, we have received $11,338,367.61. And we have spent $12,088,769.65.
You know what the expenditures for the police department is included in that?
It would have been this. Well, we just did a draw for the. We spent 1.2 million out of the bond money.
So that's in the current expenses. All right. So we are blessed to receive the monthly report for all of the transactions to make sure this reconciles. I do have a question. You want to see it? I don't remember what page, but it's the rehab account. So it says City of London Housing Rehab. So just glancing at that last night, it made me think that there's a couple lines here that are credits, State of Ohio, and then it says vehicle registration, municipal permissive tax. I'm not sure why that would be in the housing rehab, and that was $6,353. And then the big one's $49,544, where it says gasoline excise tax distribution for municipality. Are those supposed to go in this account as an?
It's all set up by the state, right? We don't even.
Has to go in that
They're in
account
their
per
direct
se.
deposited.
This account, because it's just housing rehab, I wouldn't think that the money goes there. I know it goes other places.
It does, it's automatically deposited into that account through the state. But in our system, it's probably part of its tax and one of them was street.
Right, well, I think they both are.
Yeah,
Municipal permissive, I think that's in the street, and also the gasoline excise tax.
so in our system, they go into the street department. But for the banking, they automatically deposit into that account. That's the account number they have set up for their stuff.
Okay. Just caught my eye. I don't know if I've noticed it before, but just didn't make sense to me.
Just automatically, the state has it set up, that account number. Yeah.
Did you guys have a chance to look the reconciliation, all 87 pages of it? Did you go through it line by line?
No, I
Did you figure out what all these bridge payments are and what all this means?
Absolutely not.
All right. Pass that back down. Thank you for that explanation. Does anybody have any questions for the auditor about her report? Okay. We should have a tax report, if I can find it. I know, I just don't have it up. It's also in the past. Yes. So according to this, the tax department received in the general fund, $379,539.89 for the month, which is an increase of 6.38% over this time last year, and total at $2,551,159.75, which is an increase of 2.29% over last year's numbers. And then the the fire fund, for the month, it was $189,769.95, which is 6.38% exactly matching. We almost never see that in exact match. It exactly matches the increase from the year before as the general fund. And for the year, the tax departments received $1,275,479.87, which is a 3.43% increase over last year. You know, we can't have any questions because Amy had other things to get done today. So thank you. So do you have any further insight to any of this?
I do not. She didn't
Right.
elaborate at all or give me any information to share, so.
Let's look through the packet real quick. Is there anything you have questions about that are in the packet? I didn't have anything that came to mind. Although, since we have the law director here, the Downtown Revitalization Fund, I know you've had discussions about that. Are we expecting something to come forward on that? $16,495.
Well, the legislation is already passed.
Okay, so we just need to,
Yeah, I haven't gotten, I know there's gonna be a request to encumber some of those funds to sandblast and paint light poles downtown, but I don't know when.
now will that move, will that money move from this to something else? Is it going? It's gonna stay in that fund, but that fund now can be accessed by the Downtown Historic Review Board through council. All right. Making sure I remember that correctly. All right, moving on. Department heads. Landon. I know,
No report, just something on new business, so if you want me to wait, I can, or I can for now.
if you have anything else you want to bring up, and otherwise we'll just hit it when we drop down to that.
All right, just wait.
Okay. Are you here on behalf of the police department? Do you have any department head updates to make, or just address your piece of business later?
No updates to make, just need to address the business later.
We don't have Steve yet. Are we still on, as far as we know, are we still on point for the police department opening?
He said they want council. On Thursday.
Yeah, I'm still on the same since the last council meeting.
Yes.
I believe so. He would have had a meeting today. I think they meet every Monday and I haven't heard an update, so.
Yeah, I haven't heard any updates since then.
All right, we'll come back to you. Sue, do you have anything?
Thank you.
Annie, you've already taken care of yours? Raquel? All right. There we go. Old business, elected official, monthly paid salaries. So we did hand out a survey form for all of the members of council. I don't know if you've seen those. I don't have one with me. Unless Rich, you have the extra copies with you?
I have one that's supposed to be for Andy. We'll pass it around.
Sure. So it was just basically, and I may not have the numbers to exact dollar, but I believe the mayor and the auditor was 59,982 or 986, somewhere in there.
Our current salary?
Pardon me?
The current salary?
Yeah.
59,982.
982. That's what I had. Law director, 93.
3314?
Yep.
All right, close enough. Treasurer's at 12. Council president members are at 6,600.
Yeah.
And,
Treasurer.
oh, I thought 12. I apologize.
Rich and I got it right.
All right. You guys got it right the other day. And then the council president members and the clerk all at $6,600. I'm just asking if anybody has suggestions on salaries, you know, they can supply those to us. And if they have any questions they want answered, we don't have any of these back yet.
Did
per
you want
se.
those back by tonight or was it?
If you have them, I'll take them. We just need to compile this so we can start moving forward. You know, if there's any questions that you want asked.
We have at least one.
Is that you guys handed these out in executive session or just?
Yeah, that executive session.
Dude, what'd you say your salary was?
10,000.
Not 13. Okay.
No,
I had 12 written down, but
we're all over the board.
we tried.
Yeah.
Ten three nine two if you need an executive.
I thought I had to stay at 10. Or the 392.
Been there since they passed the last legislation.
Well, you had a pay raise and didn't know it.
Yeah.
Not as much as I was trying, not as much as I was trying to give you.
Like when they were true out. 10.
You guys are welcome to see this. This isn't a huge secret. It's just we're asking for if anybody had suggestions and if they have questions. So if you want to see it, I'll pass it around. I
Are
don't
you
want to
going
see.
to kind of compile that and then do like?
Yeah. Well, so we'll have to have that discussion later, but I thought we could get that information, see where everything falls, and then, there's always going to be a suggestion we can come up with. I think it needs to come out of this committee. We can come up with a number to take to council, and anybody can move to amend it or change things at a council meeting. But we're trying to get this, close, and there's no way we're going to be exactly for everybody. Some people may say, this number or this number, and, we're just gonna, we can even list all of what was suggested, and then say, this is what we're thinking.
Pass it along.
Pass it along to,
You
wants
guys,
to
if
see
anybody
that.
wants to see it.
you want to see this? You want to see this?
Yeah.
Well, sure. We'll need it back because that's copy hasn't been distributed yet. But
Oh, so this is just, this is what making you ask for us. That's boring.
that is boring.
That is boring. That's nothing.
That is boring, but I'm okay with boring. All right. We'll move on. We hope to get moving on that
We might have
quickly.
to move around Steve, because a lot of the new businesses. were in
That's
different-
okay. That's okay. Well, we can move that on. Well, we have Eve here. We'll just drop down to the sound system. So here's a little bit of an update from my perspective. And Eve, I expect you to give your perspective also. So I just was concerned because the microphones always seem to have issues. And I thought, well, maybe we need to upgrade the microphones too. If there was any way that we could have cordless mics that would be rechargeable, that would last more than our current battery situation normally last. So,
You're talking the
The-
local
the-
mics, not the stand.
right,
stand
the
mics,
cordless
right?
mics over there, yeah,
Those have been great since whatever you did.
at the last meeting.
Except Rich didn't read his sticky note at the last session.
Are we talking about the cordless or the,
The, ha- no,
The handheld.
the table ones where you
Table.
Okay.
push to talk, yes. yes.
Okay.
In all truthfulness, it was covered up with stuff.
I tried to put yours more, because I know you put a lot of stuff down, but
Yeah.
you got the memo, it's okay.
Eventually. Eventually.
so I had reached out to One Vision, just saying, hey, we'd like to, I think we need to move forward for this, especially if we knew we're losing our, the two speakers soon.
They're gone.
Yeah, they're gone now, but
Well, last Thursday, we were able to repair those speakers before the council meeting.
Right.
So the ones in the ceiling have now been repaired, and the ones we were borrowing have been returned.
So are the ones that are repaired in a state that they're going to continue to work? So, I mean, I didn't hear a single squawk. I didn't hear a single person. The only thing was people not speaking into the microphone. And I mean, obviously, we don't know what's happening if it's recording appropriately on YouTube, but
And if you were able to watch the videos of last
Yeah.
council meeting versus prior, like the sound was so much better in this last one particularly.
Yeah.
Everybody was even, you can hear everybody at the same volume. You don't have to have your volume all the way up. There were a lot of changes that took place before the very last council meeting.
my
Okay.
only question is, and this is probably a you question, is when you're up at the council table and that fan is going off, it's hard to hear
Yes.
yourself think. And I don't know if that is picked up through the microphones, all that.
It is
air-
not.
but it is hard to hear from our perspective.
It's hard for, yeah, it's hard, but if, as long as our sound isn't picking up,
Not
that-
too much.
that
Some of so there is equipment in the rack that is designed to mute that out. Some of the equipment on the proposals that Mr. Eads has would do an even better job of muting like HVAC or candy wrapper sounds.
So,
who's candy?
just to go further into that conversation, the original proposal, we had 1 and 2. And the original proposal we sent, 1 was to basically, from what he said, part of that was to replace the speakers, right? That we had. But he did say that since Josh had already ordered the $1,200 for the parts to replace the amplifiers within the speakers, that could be repaired. He didn't think it was necessary, in talking to me, that we would have to use that part of the proposal, because that equipment for council, this is where we're going to differ a little bit. For council, that would have been fine. right? So he's saying, well, I don't think you need this for the council because the amplifiers are going to be repaired. I'll fix your microphones for you while I'm there. So we had that discussion. I kind of updated Josh a little bit on that. He talked to Eve. Eve once again pressed upon Josh that we need to look at a full upgrade. So I called them back and said, okay, let's not kill this proposal yet. Let's just add to this, and then we can make the decision moving forward. He didn't think actually that our microphones needed to be replaced. He just thought they needed to be adjusted and that we need to make sure we use either better batteries or make sure the batteries are replaced. His point was anybody could have a cordless phone, a cordless mic, and if you don't charge it, you have the same problems. And I said, yes, but the difference is if you know you have to take it and put it on the charger. I use a headset at my office all day long. I have to remember to charge that. I put it on. It's just habit to do that. That if you have the habit to do it, we would always have charged mics, but they're not necessary. And then the other thing, Eve, that you're going to address, because I didn't understand this, is that we can't put a gooseneck on the lectern. This is what he told me that came from you. And I said, why can't we put a gooseneck on the lectern? Because the microphone to the side, it's a directional mic. People are addressing council. The microphone's over here. We don't pick that up so well. That if we had the gooseneck, it would be in front of them. He said, I don't know why you can't do that, but I've been told we can't do it. And I said, well, let's add it to the proposal just in case. So it's in there. So my perception of that was we didn't have to do all that for council at this point. But we did ask for updated pricing because we haven't moved with it yet. Now, Eve has more information and she's going to correct me on some things.
To share. So the gooseneck situation just comes down to how that podium is utilized. It is used far beyond just council meetings. We have presentations, we have graduations, we have pinning ceremonies, we have things that don't require a gooseneck. So I'm hesitant to attach anything. A good solution would just be a boom, just to extend, if your solution with the gooseneck is to get it closer to those that are speaking, we can just attach a boom to the mic that's already existing, that already stands there. But also with the tweaks that were just done last week, the sound is really exceptional. Like this is the best that I think I've heard this room. And then with the speakers, that also goes to how the room is used beyond council. It is in mind of the events that take place, the graduation ceremonies. Again, this is the last graduation lot because we've had like 12 in this building in the last one. The fundraising events that happen here, things like that. So the way the room is currently designed, all of the sound in its entirety comes out of the two speakers by the stage. So when you have people at tables right in front of the stage, and then people at tables in the very back half of the room, and you only have one direction of sound. These people up here can't hear by the time they leave the event, and the people at the very back have never heard anything. So the idea was to add a set of speakers halfway through the room that then creates better sound for the events that are taking place in the space. The other part of the proposals have to do with upgrading the equipment. So currently the room as a whole is divided under two different companies. One company manages the audio, one company manages the video. And the idea is to move it all under one umbrella. So when something goes wrong, it's just one company, one call, one tech fee, one appointment to schedule to have somebody come out and look at it. Whereas right now, if something goes wrong, it's two. And I have to coordinate with two techs, and we are paying two techs, and then I have to wait for two opinions and then figure out which one it is that's going wrong and how we can fix it. And oftentimes they do overlap a little bit. So much of it is company A and so much of it is company B. And we can really streamline a lot of things by just moving it all under one umbrella. So parts of the proposals to replace like the buy map and things like that have to do with moving everything under one umbrella.
And that originally was part two of the first proposal. Now it's
Part one, I think.
it's part one of the second
Yes,
of
they
the
swapped
revised proposal. Yes. So I don't know that everybody have it, but I do have the copy of the revised proposal. Did that get sent to everybody, Eve? Do you know?
I didn't know that there was a revised proposal. I found out on accident. So I'm not sure who has it or how.
Sure, we can forward. It's not a big deal.
Will the speakers in the middle of the room be mounted or?
Yes.
So
So what's part two of the revised?
So what's part two of the revised proposal now? So the part two would have been the original part one, and that is the speaker replacement, which then would have extended that from just this to the whole room. This would have made this better for recording purposes. Is this right?
For event, the addition of speakers is primarily for your events. So you have two sets of speakers in there that have been repaired already. That was on the original quote when we had three separate quotes, but that has been taken care of. Those are repaired and they're functional and they're fine. You can leave it exactly like that. And as far as council is concerned, those are really the only speakers that you will need. I do not see cause for council to ever need to use the second set of speakers. There's not that many people. We don't have 100+ people making noise and we're not playing music and also doing announcements and things like that.
So your suggestion on proposal number two for us?
As far as council needs specifically, council would not need to add additional speakers. As far as the room needs, the room could definitely benefit from additional speakers.
Right. So the original question that Raquel had for me was, you know, who's going to use this? What funds are going to come out of or going to be used? And it could have been the city building fund. It could be council. We could upgrade that, which was what I'm not into this to have a, you know, to complain or say this is ours and this is yours. It's one room, we're all using it, so I don't really care. But if the city building, if they want us to put money in there that we don't spend it for council, I don't know that it really matters. That it's not that big of a deal. That's where she's going with that. There would be part of an upgrade that would really fall more for the public use than for council. Right, and that's the $9,048 part of this proposal. Went up a little bit.
Yeah.
But we needed pricing for this anyway.
However, the thing with these proposals is that some of these things do overlap, especially like the cabling needs and whatnot. So they again would kind of touch one another.
Okay.
So if there was a desire to break it out between, well, council is going to pay for X and then, you know, city building maintenance can pay for Y, we would just need to kind of dive into it a little bit further than how these two proposals are broken out to really define who pays for what, if we did want to divide it up into who pays for what. The original quotes, the assumption was it was the building line.
Right.
To repair this. And then when the updated quote happened, it was council.
Do you have thoughts on splitting the money up or leaving it this way or what?
Is it the proposal right now that we pay for it or the city pay for it?
The proposal right now is that we pay for it.
Do we have any money?
Well, it's
That's what the
we're going to increase the appropriations by $21,000 in order to do this. The proposals that we have now, this is including microphones, is $20,105. So we asked this to go to council once so that we could actually bring it back and then get a sponsor to go back through officially. We've had one reading on this.
Oh, we are on the same page for this. However, I do agree with the tech. I don't think that the wireless handheld mics for the audience and for the committee table would be replaced. If clerk could just take the batteries out. Like we spend I did the math on it. We spend 62 cents a month to maintain those mics on batteries. It would take us
62 cents a month.
62 cents a month. It would take us 300 years in batteries to come up with the $3,000 to just make rechargeable mics. If you just took the batteries out of them, which is common practice, and or if the battery level was looked at before every meeting, it tells you that, hey, I'm about to die, and I stock that podium with batteries.
Well, I think she checks that. I mean, I asked her and I see her do it.
Yeah, well, then they.
But it's not just council that uses that room, as you've stated, right?
Correct, but for those two mics, primarily,
Those aren't used for anyone else?
not really. Nobody else really does a lot of, and we get like the fundraisers. I can think of maybe 2 or 3 fundraisers that would do it, but the birthday parties, the regular reservations in that room are explicitly not allowed to use that equipment.
Does it take funny batteries or is it just?
Double A, triple, no doubles, yeah. The lapel mic that we also have that has never been used, needs the triples, but your handhelds are doubles, which both of them are up there.
Would those microphones go through the new speakers that would be put up though? Because I thought those were for the
Yes.
events.
The whole room would work cohesively.
So
Those really go to the board and then,
I mean, they would go through whatever, so Sean and I had discussed the way that if there were to be additional speakers installed in the room, it's basically like a floodgate essentially. And so when the room is started for council, those two speakers would be open and the back speakers would be closed because there's no need for them. When the room is started for fundraiser event, all four speakers would be open. When the room is started for birthday party, just the two speakers would be open, kind of things like that. And there's programmable options with what we currently have. This also does not require new software. It does not require additional purchases. None of that. So it's just a cohesive element to the room that would be available to the other parties that utilize the space.
and what about the other stage and speakers? $1,000 that we gave money for. Would that not be able to be used for these events?
No, those are outdoor elements. I wouldn't encourage you to set up a 24-foot stage inside the public auditorium and theater.
I mean, I was just thinking the speakers might be, or
They go with that together. I don't have a way to mount speakers on a temporary basis as often as we would need them in the public auditorium and theater, and then remove them and take them to Gatlin Park.
all right, so we have, thank you, Eve. So we have this information. We've already had a reading for $21,000. And if you wish to move forward with everything that's on here, it'll pay for that. If you wish to remove things, then we really need to take this. We will take an official sponsor out of this, but we would need to amend the legislation, I do believe, at the next council meeting, if you want to lower these numbers.
I don't think so. You just don't have to spend it.
Well, no, you don't have to spend it. But if we're not going to use the 2249, I mean, it's still, we don't use it, it's stay in that line if we don't purchase it. But we probably need to make sure as a council, we know that we're on the same page with the administration on what it is we're going to purchase and how much and which accounts it's going to come out of. I still don't have a problem if it comes out of city or the council budget because we're appropriating the money in one place. It's just, seems a little cleaner to do that. Unless you have an objection to that.
I don't have an objection. I foresee it being better, increase appropriations out of the city hall line.
I do have
But
thing that I am thinking
I
of
don't
for
know.
that, because currently the city pays for the contract with One Vision Solutions. And when the tech needs to come out on site, we pay for those visits. So if we were to split this and council pays for their equipment that's installed in the room, well, does council then get their own contract and does council pay for tech support if something were to go wrong? It would be simpler if it was all under one line.
We can move that. We can change it. Which is what you prefer, Kenna?
So just amend it to take the appropriation line then, or
Yeah, it would just be a different expense line. The increase.
So we'll just amend it at the council meeting. And will you give me the reminder of exactly which line we need to go?
Want it now or at council?
At council, or if you could email it, then we'll have that. All right. But I'll officially move that we take this to city council.
I think it's already present.
Yes, but it did not get approved coming out of council.
Oh, I see.
We can take anything the council wants,
Got it.
but it needs to be approved. Is that right? Do we have the correct rules of order here?
It was able to go on Thursday, but needs to be addressed here in committee today and to go back. I agree.
All right, I'm glad we got that right. So I move that we take this to council with the amendment of using the city hall line instead of the council line. So we'll increase appropriations to do that. Do I have a second? We have a second. Do you have any further discussion?
No,
Oh.
this is confusing, but I have been in here for events and it is hard to
Through the
hear
looking
if
glass.
you're at the back.
All right.
Batteries are $16 for 40 of them at Costco.
It's good, yeah. Even cheaper
Copper,
than how I'm
copper
doing them
tops,
right now.
copper tops too.
The legislation that we had in place, I don't know, was it, I have to find it. Was there an emergency clause on that? Is it necessary to have an emergency clause now that we have things working in a better fashion anyway? You don't think so? Great. I'll be the sponsor.
There was not an emergency on it.
Right, thank you. So I'll be the official sponsor of that. All right, now that Mr. Saltzman's made, you want to, that's okay. No big deal. We had other things to discuss. Do you want to jump in for your items now? Or you want to be put to the end? It's up to you. Well, if we start at the top, it was choice 1 on 4th Street project.
Okay, if, help me out, I don't have your printout, that's the contract for, so choice 1, we went into contract with them to, I'm having printer issues, that's why I'm late, I couldn't print any of this shit out. I scanned it, got one that's stuck.
That's okay.
So
Frustration.
on the 4th Street, reconstruction project is to, the cost of the contract, I can't remember what it was, 101.
For the engineering, for choice point,
The email you sent me is 111, 489.45.
So there's questions, like, we think that met the parts of the requirement of the earlier, where you guys had approved the 4th Street project.
which was like 890 or
Yeah, but
something.
this is actually a little bit more than what had shown in the, I think it was 89, right? Was 89 what the original, assessment showed that was gonna cost for?
I don't have that in front of me.
I can't print it. Can we pause this one? I'll go back and look it up and write the numbers down. Let me push through the others if I can. I'll go write it down.
All right, or
I think
if
it's
we
gonna take-
remember what it is, we might be able to find it.
It would have been the 4th Street project contract, right, with ODOT, but I don't,
So in that 4th Street project, there was a certain amount of money set up for, the cost of engineering them, and this exceeds that.
I know in the budget this year, we put 93,000.
And this is what, 100,
That's what we, on the contract with ODOT, that's what we were required to pay in 2026, it's 93,000. So I haven't been involved in what is additional, I don't know.
That was this current year, correct? Tommy, you were new this year. Did you vote on this for the 4th Street project? You remember?
You told me
It would
about
have
it,
been
but.
last year, because I put it in this year's budget, so it hasn't been
Oh, okay.
last
So
year.
it had to be last year.
This is
Okay.
the brick one next to the court. That was on it.
yeah, that's right.
I think I missed that finance movie.
All right. So we're just increasing appropriations, or this is a whole new line?
Thing. They wrong.
$25 more towards the end of the year, correct? Somewhere.
Are you looking for the contract? You got contract? Is that what you're
Yeah.
looking for?
Planning Commission, super blanket, grant for the 4th Street project, 178.25.
Is that the amount we
No, that's the legislation.
That was the resolution 178.25.
Dumb.
So we know that's 178.25. If we go back to 2025,
Is that even gonna show in this though, if it's in addition to, if this is?
Well, if I
changed?
can see what the original one, I'd be able to tell one.
this was August.
I don't have an attachment. I see the resolution, but I don't have. Maybe it's at the end.
An eventful day.
That was just to accept the grant. So the contract.
Andy sent the letter in August of 2025 regarding the grant up to a maximum of $755,000.
Okay, so then this is, so we still question money, but I have to sign the contract with Choice One to move forward, so I don't think it allowed me to, I did the RFP, we went out for that, but I have to be able to accept it. I just can't get it.
All right, the choice one is attached to Andy's letter and he sent that on August 21st of 2025.
Which one?
It says 4th Street grant info, and then there's a contract that's attached.
So we did the RFP for the engineer on it, they got the contract, I just have to sign.
This is a choice one engineering. I'm not sure. If it's right.
Okay, so that was the original project that wrote up the proposal, that we got the grant, that we
Okay.
got the state grant. So this is afterwards, we did the RFQ, and now I need to sign the contract with them.
Okay, I thought we already did that. My email from you said, we've negotiated project plan in C for 4th Street project. 111, 489, 45. Funds will come from DOT. I request an emergency due to time to get engineering complete. And then I reminded you that we already put in the budget the 93,000 because I didn't know if that was related.
Right. So where is the legislation allow me to accept it? That's the question.
I thought we had, ODOT's usually particular about when to sign.
$178.25 Safe Service Directors here are authorized to accept this grant.
So after that, though, don't think that gives me the ability to do the. This just isn't letting me sort any of my stuff out.
Let's see. You sent an email on May 18th regarding the choice one.
I'd say it's for 4th Street. We had other projects with them, right?
Yeah.
It says specifically 111, 489, 45, so I assume.
What does that say?
I am bringing forward a contract with Choice One Engineering for the professional service 4th Street project, but I'm not seeing an attachment.
Bear with me here. I had one. So. What was the date on that?
May 18. May 13? No, May 18. That was your final response was May 18. Looks like original mail was May 12.
Did you got it? I think the question, even though we accepted the grant, can I go into contract them because it's over the 79,000? correct?
Is that just their fee?
Yeah, so they'll do all that additional work on it. That's their fee for the engineering.
Can we just amend the dollar amount? From 79 to 112?
And what was the original amount in there? 80. So the 79 is the minimum amount, right? Anything over that I had, well, we did the 50. I just don't think I had authorization except. I don't remember seeing that in the other part of it.
All that stuff is done well in advance before the project starts and before.
Well, and that's part of
Money is
this one was
needed.
done with Rex starting it, I'm picking it up. Okay. We're gonna change. We won't have to go next year.
Yes, we will.
No.
So that would have come from Rex, right? The original email in May. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I hate to do this, but let's just table this because I can't get it to show.
Do you have anything on that, Raquel? Are you tracking anything?
I'm trying to pull up the legislation to see if there has been one, and I'm not seeing anything to enter into contract. I know she mentioned that. I've been trying to find it, and I don't see where there's been legislation for that. How long ago would it have been though?
Last years, probably, I mean,
Because I am looking back through 22 and I don't see anything yet.
usually they won't even say we're awarded until we agree with our portion of pay for.
Still looking, because I was looking
Fine.
under, code words and for like 4th Street project, and I'm not like,
I don't see anything since we accepted the grant.
definitely nothing since we've accepted it. So
That's what the-
It's
I
the-
have a match to the grant, right?
What I'm hearing is we need legislation to accept that or allow Steve to enter into contract.
Well, we don't need to amend it then if this is an initial crack at
I
it,
know, I
right?
pulled it up, but that's what this is. It's a grant. We just have a match to it. We have to pay a portion of it, but it's.
So part of the grant, we pay for the engineering of this engineering cost. My concern is what you said, it was beyond what was specifically mentioned in the original grant product by $20,000. Right?
Did you, I thought, after I showed you that figure, did you have a meeting with the gentleman you were gonna
Yeah.
talk to? It spelled out specifically which year we had to pay what portion of funds, and I put it in the budget specifically to plan for it, so I wasn't aware of any new funding.
I say we just table it, I'll get the writing and bring it back. I apologize. That's on
Do you have any idea if we have a deadline on that, Steve?
probably last week, but
Probably.
I'll call him. I made him call him tonight and see if I can answer for them.
All right, hold on. What are all right, in the original proposal that was circulated when the grant was circulated in August of 2025, the notes on the side say that the city would pursue a small city funding. Unfortunately, city does not currently have the necessary funds budgeted to pay for the entirety of the reconstruction with local funds. Oh, this is for the actual
Well,
reconstruction
yeah, this falls
itself,
in the
okay.
funding.
This, or this is, we're just talking about the cost of the contracting itself. Uh, Engineering, there it is. What did you say the engineering budget was originally for?
Lot based on what Kenna had showed on that wall was like 89.
Well, according to the line items that were part of that 755 grant, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 line items that were city funded that total $141,000. So if this I guess it depends on what this was, because they had engineering, geotechnical engineering, environmental engineering, that would be 6778 plus 15 would be 88, 93,000. Those
Does
three
it
things.
show topographical survey?
It just says that these are additional city funded. Let's see. Be helpful if they were in some kind of order.
Sorry, I saw.
Nope. Unless
So-
it's geotechnical is topographical.
With geotechnical report, how much is that? 11,420?
Geotechnical is 11,000.
Yep, so that's 11,420. Environmental document,
And
culture resources,
environmental engineering was 15. No, 15.
so that's 617. So those are all the estimates, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think it's just above and beyond what that was. Construction plans, 58,000. Geotech.
Total City of London funding was 181.50.
All right, so this is 111,489. I don't know what you would ask that question. I apologize.
I can just
So
send
I
this to you.
think if you don't mind, send
Yeah.
it back, but I
Yeah.
think it gets tied up in.
It looks like it.
I'm unaware of a difference.
Well, where's the number one? You said 93,000.
You're about to do it.
What day was that email? Email.
One show job.
And nothing else is needed.
And
until
then
2022.
Where we show jobs.
What would the layout be? What would the layout be?
I have no idea. Inflatable things over.
Once you get off the top.
Because, yeah, we were almost $2 million.
Well, it's currently below the amount that we said was in there. I guess my question is, if we move forward and approve to go into contract then the engineering for up to that amount, and I have to come back, we're still under the amount originally we said, that 181. If there's other one, I see a couple increases on that price. If you guys are not comfortable, I understand, and I'll go back to them and get stricter.
Did we do anything to, my recollection was that we just moved to accept the grant. And I don't know if that was the whole package deal or if it was.
That's how I understand it. I could be misunderstanding it, but choice one was, it looks like it was chosen by ODOT.
Are you saying-
They
No,
include all of
we
this.
did it, choice one actually did the evaluation that said, that set up the plan to, they did the proposal for the grant itself. Then we went back for an RFP, but it came in.
No, I have it. If you look at page 3. Slide down more.
I just-
That's one.
I don't think I can sign that contract based on the amount that.
Yeah, that's what I put in the budget for this year.
What's R/W? Because this on page 3 of their proposal, down at the bottom, it says funding, 2023 application for small city program. Then it shows the local amounts, right? So $26,000 for preliminary engineering, and then 67,000 for design. Then R&W is 48,000, and then the construction numbers. Is that right of way? I don't know.
Well, it could be, there is a huge right of way thing because of the property, but I don't think it's that much. What page is that?
It's page 3 of their proposal. But it's page 5 of the email. Just numbered page 3 at the bottom of their proposal.
Oh, you're talking about the choice one.
Yeah.
You know, right of way plans.
Because the preliminary engineering and design, those would be paid in 26. That was, according to this, was 93,000.
So that's based on what was done in 23, I believe. So, I mean, it makes sense that the cost has went up, but
But if the ODOT agreement and they have a maximum up to 755, does that?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Okay, so we
no,
just.
I really can't answer that question.
Okay, so it's resolution 17825,
Enter into the grant.
a resolution authorizing the safety services director to accept a grant for the Fourth Street project. And I think that's the only time we've ever touched it.
So that's for the grant, but that's not the local portion.
County commissioners have passed a resolution allowing the city to engage in repairs. Would love to fix and put the bricks back, but the cost isn't worth it. These are my notes. Can you tell? Rules were suspended and it was adopted that day, which was August 21st of 2020.
You ever use your computer? I never see you with it. You may not.
Well, and I do.
Okay.
Just take a look.
Yep.
Stuff up.
I always turn mine so she can read off.
But if we're accepting the grant, aren't we accepting the stipulations with the grant as well?
That's how I understand it, because it says a maximum and there's dollar figures specifically stated in the.
And it says, I mean, this is commissioner owned property and they've already authorized the repairs, right? So this is just the city's portion.
I think we'll just
So-
schedule with Jake and
Yeah.
clarify
But
everything.
with-
They'll
it's
walk us
short,
through it all.
please. My fault, I should have better answered that.
Okay, so we'll just leave that on for now.
God damn it, Steve.
Super type that in there.
It's absolutely clear.
Please do.
All right, let's move on. How about job descriptions? Are we ready for that? Because we got an email on that.
Did you open that email?
So I sent you an email because I can't print them off this way, but I sent them to you. So I had a copy when I print individually. So what that is most of this is what meets the legislation for the residency requirements. Residency requirements for all departments, for the police, canine and detective, and then the street department. So it's all the street department because they'd be required to come in during the weather.
Oh, yeah,
So-
backed up.
All of those are in there. There's additional couple of job descriptions. So there's a new one for a police officer, so they added some additional language on what their skills and ability. Does not, just to clarify, no residency on that, has nothing to do with residence. The firefighter paramedic, that was never updated, ever when we took over, and the other is the fire safety inspector, who's part-time. So if you look through there, you'll notice none of them have residency requirements, but they are job descriptions that need. So these are all the current updates as you go through. So police chief, I'm sorry, and the police captain, so that's required. Those are residency. The police officer shows up, no residency, but it's updates to the job. Police detective, residency. Canine officer, residency. Actually, detective and canine are completely new too. They've never had job descriptions. They were a position before, but they weren't described. So they both.
I'm trying to read it.
I know,
I seen it on Shannon's, but it's one page is this way, the other page is this way.
They wouldn't allow me to
Eve,
scan
will you
the print
help
them,
them?
but they allow me to scan the scan.
This is like it's marching left, right, left, right.
They all went together, so it is what it is. It's,
Wait, now Eve is your official assistant.
she was down here when I was trying to get that.
Okay.
I was able to print my stuff before I got here. So.
I just think that he needed your assistance.
shit.
All right, so we just need to take these to council so we can go through these. And that these are marked properly so we can see the changes with the red lettering.
Did they get color?
At least the bottom one did, which had to do with, assistant street superintendent. I see that. And the, wait a minute, the, street superintendent, city engineer, hang on a minute, let me look at the other one. Residence requirement for the Parks and Recreation Director, that's new. So I do see the red updates on some of these, not on all of these. Fire Safety Inspector, this just says date revised, so this whole thing's new.
That's all. They've never had a job description.
And the firefighter paramedic full-time. All right. Then we'll have copies of all of these printed out properly so council members can see
I will
those.
sign that to Eve.
And all right, so I think we need a motion to take this to council to get the job descriptions updated. So this is a continuation basically of what we had, but now we're getting the residency part in there and the new job descriptions, pardon me. All right. Would you like to take this to council?
I will move to take this to council.
Oh, we have a motion to take this to council and we have a second. Is there any further discussion about this? All in favor? Aye. And opposed? All right.
Ms. Jackman, I will send you an email with the breakdown of which ones are new, which ones are different.
Perfect. Next item on our list is the maximum age. Pardon me? Lisa.
Oh, did I miss that?
No,
You did. Oh, yeah.
no, she didn't say she's sponsored. She said she would take it.
And no emergency?
No.
Need emergency?
No.
Maximum age for police officer appointments.
Okay, so we ran into a recent issue with police and fire appointments. So you'll see there's two. I'm going to start with the police side. There's two different languages for Cal. Help me when I screw this up. There's two different languages. The city of London had a language. The state has a language of what the minimum ages are allowed. London.
Minimum or maximum?
I'm sorry, thank you, maximum.
All right.
Well, it has minimum and maximum on fire on police.
Got to be
So,
21, right?
The city years ago removed the maximum age to address the number. I think it had to do, it even listed as part-time police officers, but they didn't state an age. And when they didn't state under the law, I think it has to state what that age is, correct? And they are unlimited to what that age is. But because it didn't state it, we had to stick with the 36 is what was there, the old one. So we're stuck at 36. We have an officer that we hired as a cadet that is at that age. So we need to update this to pass it to, I believe, what was intended in the original legislation years ago. And we're asking it to be 41 as the maximum age. And part of that is, as I get into your fireside, you'll see that is the maximum age of a firefighter being hired. We are asking for that to get reduced.
So I have 10 months.
So let me understand, the has a maximum age that is currently 36, and because London's maximum age was left blank by default, it goes to the state's maximum
The state.
age, which is 36, and we would like to,
So we're asking to
Create a-
increase it. Yeah. And you can name any age you want on the police side. We don't want to name any age. We want to keep it consistent with the fire.
Okay.
Request of the PD at 41.
so we were just fixing the blank to the number 41. Is there a blank in the, in that job description,
have-
or is it under an appointment
So
description?
in the job description, actually, good question. Did he add that on there?
This says must be between the ages of 21 and 41.
Yep.
At the time of appointment.
At the time. And officially under the law, that appointment is when they graduate. They have to be certified after they complete their applied training.
And it's,
Good.
there was a term for that. It's temporary appointment, or I don't remember what that was.
Where they, Greg,
It's usually condition.
where is that at?
On the job description, the bottom of the first paragraph for the police officer.
At the time of, we need to amend that to original appointment here, correct? We'll update that tomorrow and send it up to you, but we would like to ask what you send would say must be between the ages of 21 and 41 at time of original appointment.
Or original appointment's different than the training class.
Not
Right
the
now,
training
right now,
class,
it's just,
original.
right now, it's just worded appointment, right?
That's correct.
It needs to say original.
Original appointment. So if you come from a different police department, you're already been certified. Original appointment, that age wise doesn't matter. They're already in the system. They're good. Original appointment, somebody's never been appointed to prior.
Correct.
Right.
So if Sergeant Harris left and went to another department and he's over 41, but he still would be, his original appointment, he's already 10, 12, 15 years into the retirement system, he would be good.
Just, does that matter? Does the same language have to be for your fire chief? Don't see that. Fire chief, like watching a tennis match.
This is quite entertaining.
And it is. Firefighter, paramedic, full-time.
Theirs is 36. And that's not the at all. Yeah, shit.
I didn't see that language there. Well, it probably is there. I didn't see it because it's not in red. I'm just checking what's the updated changes. Do you have hard copies? So I didn't see that for firefighter, paramedic.
It is part of that too. Theirs is The difference on the police officer to the firefighter is maximum LB per cal. It's at 41 and it cannot be higher.
State law says that we can't put it any higher than 41 for fire. Police, we could put it at any age. I think they've just come to the conclusion they want to keep them the same to make them both 41.
Okay, so we're gonna,
We can't ever increase that the way the state law is right now.
oh, so if that's assumed it's state law, it's not in here, but should it be in here?
Can you ask that again? I'm sorry.
If it's assumed by state law, the age is 41 and it's not in here because it's assumed by state law, I just don't see the age in this.
You don't see it in the fire job description.
I don't.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, it might be, but I'm not catching
I
it.
still think it should be in there.
And it's 18.
I only got one of these things, so it's even worse.
If you wake up tomorrow, feeling like my neck hurt.
All right, so we can take a motion, we can do it one by one, or we can, I guess we probably should do it one by one. A motion to take the change for the maximum age, but that's part of the job descriptions too.
Which is why Lisa's sponsoring. She's motioning.
So we don't need separate legislation do we? I mean, it's already in the job description, or do we need a separate? piece of
No, we
legislation?
do need legislation. It said specifically we need legislation. So because we're changing ours, our current one for for fire is at 36. We can go to a maximum. You have to make.
So we need a motion to take the amended version of this, which is original appointment for police, right? Original appointment.
Both say original.
Yes.
Give a copy.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Make that simple.
The original appointment to age 41.
Yeah.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? None. Right. The fire department's already been discussed, but we need to get the age in there.
Does
That
there
needs
have
to be
an
amended.
emergency on this, Steve?
I don't really need emergency on the fire side.
What about on the
But
police officer side?
actually, the police side, we definitely need emergency. We probably should do one vote. Just in case we.
Sure,
hire
let's-
somebody.
Let's do that. So we'll add the emergency clause. Are you good with that?
Yes,
You're the sponsor of it.
yes.
So we just advertised a fire job. We advertised it based on the state law that way, so we probably should.
Right, so
We just can't legally hire somebody outside that age. We've run into that already, so. So I would appreciate it, we're doing that.
So the first one sponsored, passed. Second one for the fire department. We can also accept a motion to take this to council with the amendment of adding the age. We don't see.
And that's
Take care of
18.
that.
I'm sorry,
That one as well.
18 to
I'll
40.
second that.
Who's sponsoring?
Lisa, she's doing all of these today.
I got them all.
She loves job descriptions.
I love the red and. This makes me feel happy.
I'm not coming to that meeting either, so,
Did you say firefighter was 18 to 41?
yeah. Cops, you have to be 21
Yeah.
to in the initial. You can start fire at lower age.
Say fire is not an emergency.
Actually, let's do both emergency because we have both jobs out right now. Advertising and
Okay.
things of those.
This makes sense. Especially since we've got a fire or a police officer in the academy. When's he gonna be done?
So I have 10 months to apply.
I'm sorry?
10 months to apply.
Right.
I got two,
Oh, you should do it.
in 2 months, I'll be too old to be a firefighter.
I've already had my original appointment. I can come back to either one.
Yeah.
Must be rough to be that close.
All right, we're already taking the sound system.
I brought you a donut.
Quick and simple recreation donation money of $100.
Oh, we didn't vote on that.
We did not?
We did.
I'm sorry, I thought we did. We have a motion.
Aye.
Any second? All in favor? Aye. 1, 2, and 3. Is that true? Raise your hand if you're voting yes. All right, we know that. We got that one done. Thank you. Thanks for catching that. Recreation donation money, $100, quick and simple.
Received $100 on May 26th from a nice lady.
Yeah.
Who wants to donate $100 to the recreation department, so in order to spend it, we gotta increase appropriations to the donation line.
So moved.
Move.
Second.
Second.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye. All in favor?
Aye. yeah,
Aye.
gotta go.
Aye. Okay, we've got 3.
Sponsor?
Sure.
Let's go ahead.
So
Shannon.
I can.
Who's that?
Is there an emergency for the $100?
Can't
No.
imagine.
You did a pretty good job.
No emergency?
No.
No, he said.
Says dump truck update.
So on the dump truck, we originally asked for 275,000 update the existing truck. After looking at the recent changes and the additions to the streets and that, superintendent has asked, what he wants to do is, it's still gonna be a dump truck, it's just gonna be a lower class, and we're looking more like 150,000 instead of 275. So it'll match some of those other trucks to have the same capabilities. And I think the only loss we have in that is 1/3 of a front, when you put the salt in, they literally lose 1/3 of a bucket that we do. The rest of the salt is still there. The big difference is you go take those big trucks back in those new streets, it's pretty narrow, especially with cars on there. So I personally don't think we need to do legislation. The legislation said to purchase a plow and dump truck.
Up to,
Comments said, yep, to 275, yep. So the comments in the meeting talked about a bigger truck, the bigger truck, and originally that's what we were gonna do.
The legislation's already passed to
Yep.
increase to 245 and they're not,
So
they
it'll be
don't want to
under
spend,
that.
yeah. okay.
Yep.
your opinion?
If we need new legislation.
Yes. All right. We don't need to amend that either. We already have a number out there, a maximum amount.
It's set up to,
And it was vague enough that it said a dump truck and it didn't say a Ford F-450 up to this. It didn't say anything. So thank you for saving some money. All right. Increase appropriation for civil service. I'm assuming this is for the police
You
chief,
can
police chief assessment.
withdraw that as of today. So that was for the sergeant's exam.
Okay.
And we're signing MOU to not do the assessment on this one. Some things we got. So the chief's exam, we already have, it's taken care of and paid. He called me this afternoon. We're gonna sign MOU to not do the assessment center on the sergeants. So long story short, the way it was put through with the last contract was kind of skewed. But the intent was that this process we're going to adopt was for this contract. I'm sorry, was proper. We have to make a couple adjustments. It didn't have the right agents. There was a couple of clerical errors in it. But I don't need the money now. He called me today, said that they're gonna sign the MOU. We're gonna do this one without the assessment.
So you don't need civil
Thank you.
service 6. So removed from agenda.
We don't even have to do anything with this. All right. Next item, the parking lot for the pool and pickleball.
That had already went through council and was approved to put out for bid.
Okay.
Up to, and accept, wasn't it? Up to, what was on that?
Go to bed, not to, probably.
Well, yeah, I think it was something. Let me pull it up.
And city council, that was May 21st? No.
Should have been, should have been.
No, June 5. Days are running together. All right. Wait, that's 2025. Hold on a second. June 4, 2026.
Advertise for bid and enter into contract not to exceed 225.
So basically just to determine what lines that money is coming from. 225 was actually determined off the initial estimate we got before we took it to public service. After public service approved up to that number, another verbal estimate kind of came in well under that amount. So we think once it goes out for bid, we'll be closer towards that second estimate, which probably puts it more in the 150 total. So, all the new parking lot stuff can come from Parks and Playground Fund. However, any, work done to the existing parking lot there would have to come from general.
And so the work on the existing is to go in and seal it. And it'll have to be restriped. Of course, the nice part of the restripe, it will be set up to maximize the whole lot. Right now, it's kind of an awkward size. You don't get the maximum number of parking spots. So it does need seal, will be sealed, and then the new striping will combine with the whole lot. Make it flow better and hopefully maximize our parking spots.
Is it currently out to bid for one project? Should it be two different, especially if we're doing two?
Same project. So because so it's gonna be one, the people have to do both. You don't want to split it because the seal needs to combine directly with the installation. You know, we talked to two different companies, both said they do it that way. That's fine. Are you asking a question of why we do it that way?
Not just thinking if we're funding it out of two different funds, because it can only be spent a particular way, should we be going out to bid two different ways?
I don't know why the bid would matter where the money's coming from as long as it's paid. I don't think so. Rick, how? Like, I don't know why that matters where, how they pay the bill.
Not gonna change the bid, is it?
So the bid's just for the entire project?
Yep.
But then the
Yep.
two different lots.
It's gonna pay them out too. No, it's not. It's one project. You have two different payments.
But it is two different lines it's paying from.
Yeah.
So what's the
So being
request
one
here?
project, are we gonna know what's being paid out of each account? Like, is it gonna be broken down?
Two different line items on the bid.
They got an itemized
The old and the
invoice.
As long as it's itemized, I think it's fine under one.
This is part, is what we're gonna cost, because the new part line is sealed, this is a sealed stripe, this is your new,
Lisa thought it was a two-part bid.
But one project,
One-
but two.
two-part bid, but one part.
Yeah, that's the way I remember it.
What's before us then?
Basically just to, what lines are paying how much, up to how much.
You have a copy? Contract or?
We haven't, it hasn't gone out yet. No. But Kenna requested that it come to finance. So Parks and Playground Fund currently sits at $171,904. And growing every week.
But if we don't have anything back yet, like, are we saving this for the next finance meeting?
I mean, we can, I mean, it's up, I mean, as soon as it goes out to bid, if everything was lined up and ready to go.
Did you have a question? I mean, you're the one that asked them to bring it to them.
I
so-
didn't want it to come out of a different committee, because I was told it was funded and everything was to go out of a different committee without being discussed in finance. That was my issue.
I get that. I appreciate that. I mean, it's where the money comes from. We're supposed to. Okay, so then we already have appropriated money, correct?
I haven't seen a new quote or, no, we do not have appropriated money. The only piece of legislation that moved forward was to.
Put it out for bid.
Yeah.
But it
Put it
wasn't
out for
bid,
There
and
was nothing.
was
to
not
fund
accept.
the project. It was, yeah, it was accept.
Yeah.
Not to exceed 225.
Advertise and enter.
So we put that
Advertise,
out.
And enter into contract not to exceed 225,000.
Okay.
So
we-
it's out to bid, but we don't have any bid.
It's not the bid, yet. I've been holding them because of her questions, so.
Oh, okay.
We're ready.
Then I think we need some bids.
So we don't need to take
If
care
we're funding it out of two different funds, I'm gonna need a breakdown to see which part of the project is gonna be paid for out of the first playground fund and which part of the project.
Do you
we need
want it to
general
say, Parks and Playground Fund up to X amount of
funds.
dollars?
We can't do that for an increase of appropriations, it has to be an exact dollar figure.
You can't do that without the bid, right?
No, but we've done it before.
Well, yeah,
though.
I don't understand why we can't. We just did it with the truck too, up to
No, we can't. That's what I'm-
275,000. We spend 150, it's less. We'll have it to accept. It's not a big deal, but why does one matter and the other doesn't?
It doesn't. I'm just saying, I'm gonna need a breakdown to see which
Well,
is which.
it
like the
absolutely-
Well, do we
total,
just
when
say-
Because they're coming from two different funds.
Yep.
Or
No,
do
it'll,
we
it'll
just
be broken
say-
down by park for sure. Yes.
But as far as legislation goes, 170,000 Parks and Playground Fund and then 55,000 general, so it matches the 225.
170 and 55 is what you're saying.
If you need exact amounts for each line.
I suppose, I mean, earlier you told me it could be 10 grand out of general.
Well, I mean, just to match the 225, that's all, but we can't put more than what's in the Parks and Playground Fund right now either. Can't say.
What's going to make you happy? What do we have to do to make this work for you?
I don't know which portion of the 225 is strictly for the new parking lot that can be paid for out of the Parks and Playground Fund and which part. So if you're saying just pick two figures and spend all of Parks and Playground
So
and then
we-
increase appropriations for the other.
On my end, we've never had a project like this where it's, you know, we've had Parks and Playground Fund projects, we've had straight general funds or capital projects, and that, you know, that's it. So splitting them, so if we have to wait until we literally get the amount, but then now we're still behind. I want to definitely get this done in the fall. So that's why I just, if everything can get ready and as soon as we accept, you know, and get on their schedule and go. But if we absolutely have to wait until we get that final amount, to then wait for the next finance meeting and then wait for the next council meeting.
Okay, I know we want official numbers. I know you want exact numbers, but you said you were given a verbal bid. Did they,
Well,
did they?
Verbal estimate.
It's just an estimate.
Right, but did they even ballpark that to do the existing lot was, they expected to be 30 or 40,000 and the new lot was gonna be 80,000? Did they even throw a number out? I'm just
It
curious.
was more or less a whole, big dollar amount for all. So the new and the old, so. But what it cost, we've had quotes to seal the, basketball courts before we resurfaced them. So, and those were just in the thousands, so. The crack seal and seal coat,
There's not enough.
and
to
then
cover
stripe the basketball lines.
Project in the Parks and Playground Fund.
And
Well,
legally
you're
you
not,
can't.
allowed to do it.
on
So in the
existing.
Parks and Playground, it's only for new things, so we can pay for that part. It just makes no sense to not seal and restripe the
Yeah.
other. So you seal it, restripe it, so it all matches together and we get the maximum use. But we have to pay for repairs or sealing, upkeep of the old one has to come out of the general fund.
What if there's not enough money in the Parks and Playground Fund for the whole new lot? Can any come from the general fund toward the new lot?
Yeah, but we're hoping it's well below.
Yeah.
And if it's that much higher, we can reject those.
Should we say that the park to cover from the Parks and Playground Fund for the new lot not to exceed the amount that's in the fund? With the rest of it to come from the general fund and then make it total the
So to-
225?
To fund it, I have to have an exact
Okay,
figure to
and
increase
we can't.
appropriations, because the money doesn't exist on the line to spend.
We're just not ready to do that yet.
Well,
then.
It's already approved to go out to bid. Why don't we just get
It
a
is.
bid back? And then we'll make
Yeah.
appropriations.
I mean, I'm
according to
fine with
this.
splitting it how you mentioned, but it can't be give and take because we can only spend a certain portion out of the Parks and Playground Fund.
Right.
So,
But if it was a brand new project, we could spend every penny of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that's just to make sure when you get your bid back that it's very clear that this portion is for, you know, the laying, the new asphalt, and this portion is for the striping and sealing of the old stuff, and that should take care of it, right? So, anything for us to do today?
Doesn't sound like it.
Seem like
Just
it.
be ready to act on it when it comes next time, I guess, with the exact numbers.
So we're expecting it, and I think people want to see that improved. I don't think we have a big issue with that. After a long discussion, we decided not to do anything. All right, so my apologies. And Steve suggested months ago that I should send an email out, a couple of days before the meeting, which I did not do. So when the chief says he realizes he missed the deadline, That was kind of my fault too, that I didn't ask him for anything. So if we want to consider this because they have a recently forfeited vehicle that they would like to sell or trade this. If you haven't seen that, it's a 2025 Mustang convertible with an estimated value of $50,000 and no lien. Because of the vehicle type, it's not feasible for us to use. You got a truck. We desire. I think so too. I mean, didn't they used to have like the,
Haven't
like
you ever
the,
heard of a feasibility study?
didn't they used to have like the Dare vehicles were kind of like those, you know?
Yes, yep.
We don't have a dare officer.
Because of this not feasible, so we desire to sell or trade the vehicle with proceeds from a sale being transferred to our LETF as required. That's Law Enforcement Training Fund, I believe, as required by law. If this cannot be considered, please put it on next month's agenda.
Went to the law enforcement training.
Did I get that right? Law Enforcement Training Fund, LETF? All right, just making sure. If she's putting it in the minutes, we want it to be right.
And it's.
So do you have any objections to putting this on the agenda? Sell or trade this?
I do not.
You do not. You?
As long as I know when it's going.
And we have a clear title.
Where it's going.
They sent the title over. We have a clear title. And, you know, it just makes me wonder,
What was the
do I
case?
know Christopher Jacobs? I think I
It was an
do.
OVI, felony OVI.
Yeah, that's Christie.
The tree trimmer.
His ex-wife.
Oh, okay. What's
Oh,
the
she gonna
tree
be
trimmer's
mad.
name?
John,
Hoping that
John.
There's a lot going on.
He didn't even get that much prison, did he? He only got like 60 days.
Yeah, wasn't much. But he lost his car.
Christine. Oh, Krista, I'm gonna write this down.
All right, so do you have any objections, Law Director, that if we take this to council without prior notice? We don't really need it. I mean, we prefer to have it, but we got notice today at like, 3:30 or something. All right.
In all fairness, we didn't get the title though.
Friday.
Friday.
Says it was issued on June 4th. So we can either sit there and look pretty, or we can start the process to get it sold or allow them to trade it. Are we gonna need undercover car again this year? Well, we can't, because this has to go to the training funds. We can't do that anywhere.
Minimum bid on, would you have to put a minimum bid in on
I don't know. I believe we do have an offer from Buckeye Ford already for 50,000.
Quick comment is like, I don't think we can authorize to bid or sell. I need one or the other. And
you said
my
trade,
preference,
trade yourself.
I'm sorry, trade or sell. If I'm gonna bid it, I can't trade it. I prefer we just authorize to bid. We'll put it to bid to sell. I can't put up for bid and or trade it. It has to be one or the other, so. I prefer we just bid it, take the money, put it in the field.
You can't just outright sell it to Buckeye.
Have to be. You trade it for another car, you can't sell it outright without going to bid.
Yeah, and since it has to go in the training fund, you really have to put it out for bid so that it's properly applied to the right account, right? Okay. All right. I'll make a motion that we take this to council.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Can we lecture people that if you have too many DUIs, this is what happens? You'll lose your 2025 Ford Mustang and that money gets donated to the police
If you
department
only
and
knew
they
the half of
appreciate
it.
that.
Oh,
Only 8,000 miles and
8,900 miles. Bought my truck with 8,900. Okay, we have a motion second. Any further discussion on that? No objections from the law director and nothing from the peanut gallery. All in favor, please.
Aye.
Aye, and opposed, none.
I'd say we're getting into
Cruising season, you probably want.
I'd like to get it off our insurance policy.
yeah.
Do we have to insure it?
Oh, yeah.
We have to insure it because it's now titled to us? All right. So you say emergency, yes? It's your preference? Okay. Makes sense.
That means no
Um,
running it in the drag race.
Dang. Unless we still have it.
I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be fun to go out to the training.
This sounds very good.
Sponsored?
Yeah. If we stay according to plan, from what I understand, watching the council meeting, there is going to be a council meeting on July 2nd. If we stay according to our normal schedule, we would meet on July 6th. Have any objections to that? Are you guys going to meet on the 7th? Rich? That's the
Yeah.
Tuesday? Okay. One other thing, just as a discussion. Yes, sir. July 6th. Yep, that's okay. One other thing, and I'm glad Raquel's here. There's that training, or just tomorrow, the Ohio Municipal League, talking about how the law has changed and how you can now sign NDAs, right? This is the law,
When you say you can cite NDAs, who are you talking about?
sorry,
I don't.
the
in what
city.
context? Oh, the city.
The city with potential developers that are coming to the city, right? So if it is a data center, if it is a large company that wants to build that, before there was always that argument, I think, that you couldn't really hide everything, but now with the change in the law, you can keep an awful lot of this from going public. And there's a training class at 10:30 tomorrow on this. If you don't know about it, I would expect you to be there.
I didn't know about, well, I didn't know that there was a training.
Was that online?
Yes.
But
The
no,
OML put this out that they're gonna have this. So this is Bricker Graydon. I think they're gonna lead this tomorrow. And so my question was always, this is what I'm gonna ask. I don't know how versed you are on this yet, but just because there's that change to the state law, does that mean that we have to do this and we have to keep information from going public until you're further along in that process, right? Because I know there's been arguments that there's been municipalities that have signed those NDAs and they're not forthcoming with the information up front, and then it kind of all hits at once later. No one really knows what it is.
I was looking into this the other day, and I think what they've done is they've created a privilege. So just how, like, when you go to executive session, it's not automatically confidential. It's just based on like the content of what you're discussing. If it has a separate privilege, what I think they're trying to do is create a privilege for new development that is making that not subject to public record requests and things like that. So it's not, and that privilege, from what I understood, lies with the developer to waive or not. So if that is the way that it has passed and is going to be put in place, it would be something where that privilege exists. We can't disclose that information without waiver from the developer. I do need to look at it more just with it being new, but that was my understanding of reading it the other day.
Okay. At some point, I really want that legal opinion that
Okay.
what we can really do or not do and how that's changed.
Yeah, it's right there, that this is any information submitted to a political subdivision, Port Authority, or Tax Incentive Review Council related to economic development assistance is a confidential and is not a public record under Ohio Public Records Act. And that just means if we have a record, it doesn't obfuscate any of the process, right? It just means if we have a record, it doesn't have to be subject to public records requests.
I was doing other things with public records the other days, like I feel like I always am, and that's what I came across this, so.
There is the webinar through the OML website. They promoted that. I did sign up. I just have enough curiosity about that. It is actually here. You want me to forward to you if you're interested to register.
Said it's tomorrow,
Yeah,
what time?
sleep 10:30.
I will be in court.
But you may also, if you
I might be able to
register
get
that, yeah, they might be able to send the link to you or the
Cups.
not that you want, Steve, do you want it on this too?
Sure.
I'm gonna forward it to people then. there anything else to come for this committee tonight? All right, our next meeting will be July 6th, 5:30 PM in this room. I don't think anything else officially to come before the council, therefore we shall be adjourned at 7:06 PM. Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
I have you for about 5.
You can.
Okay, I just got some questions I need to ask.
Hey,
5 minutes starts now.
hey Landon, 1 minute if you would.
Yeah, 5 minutes.